when she said, yeah, CBA's coming up. We deserve more. Because I'm hearing if y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out. What are you, crazy? Sit out and crush all the momentum from Caitlin Clark? Well, guess what? Just this week, W players voted yes on a strike. Not on strike yet, but it's officially on the table. Oh, and this was 98% yes. You never see that kind of agreement from players, all on the same page. But if this happens, it could be the end of the WNBA as we know it. Because other leagues are popping up saying, hey, you don't like the W? Come play here. We'll pay you more. So Unrivaled, Project B, these leagues have already signed dozens of the top WNBA players to say, forget the old league. We tried and it failed. But how did...
I just wonder, though, where are those leagues? Where are they? You know, because you had, at least with golf, you had Live, I think LIV, the league. And, you know, they were getting paid money. Obviously, the PGA didn't like that. But I wonder, for women, what the stipulations would be. Like, you know, are you guys being objectified more? Was it, oh, we're going to take you, you're going to be a WNBA player. You're going to play basketball. But it's going to take more of a, you're going to be objectified, to be honest with you. You have to be sort of like a model. You have to wear certain things and reveal certain things. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, that people, some women would, namely Angel Reese, but some women might not be comfortable with that. That might not be their vibe.
How did this happen? Right when things are going good, it could die? Well, I'll tell you why it happened. Money. It's always money. Caitlin Clark comes into the W, single-handedly lifts the league. For example, the average W game, not involving Caitlin, got 394,000 viewers. But the average Caitlin Clark game, 1.4 million. Wow. That is over a 200% increase for one player. But it affected the whole league. Like we all know, interest in the W as a whole is up. We experienced it. Look at the average finals ratings, around 600K before Caitlin Clark, but her rookie year, 1.6 million viewers, and she wasn't even involved. And
dang, that's crazy. And you know, I don't really even watch the WNBA, but it looks like their marketing has gotten a lot better. Particularly, I've seen, you know, he's talking about Caitlin Clark, but I've seen Angel Reese a lot. And you see some other players like when there was that whole skirmish or whatever with Sophie, whatever, I can't remember her name. It was just at the top of my head. But anyway, Caitlin Clark's teammate, she started selling a good number of jerseys. There was a little pop in there for her. The marketing, the drama. There was a tagline back in the early 2000s, maybe, where TNT would say, TNT, we know drama. And, you know, you had the NBA on there, so they would show some of their shows, but then they would show some of the moments from the NBA. And so I think maybe the WNBA is doing a better job with PR, showing, hey, this is drama, there's excitement there. And, you know, people are responding to that. Maybe not a lot, but I mean, 1.57 million viewers. That's impressive.
Right then, a new media rights deal was up. Perfect timing. They would get to cash in on this Caitlin Clark popularity. So the W signed a $2.2 billion deal to show their game starting in 2026.
I can see why they asking for that money now. 2.2 bill? You can't give me the 6x jump for the league? Wow.
They also expanded to add 6 teams, each paying up to $250 million to get in. So why not share the wealth?
Where y'all getting this money from? 250. Knowing that the WNBA has been losing money. They must know something that we don't know. Maybe I ought to start me a league somewhere. I mean, it's going to start small, but you never know. Start me a team, Doc.
Players all mad wearing pay us what you owe us shirts at All-Star, but the owners say no. We floated this league for decades before Caitlin Clark, and now you want to share the money? How about sharing all the debt all those years before? Oh no, you didn't want to do that, but now you want the money. But this is the time of year that NBA players start to kind of slow down. New Year's.
You know, honestly, really, honestly and truly, like I said, the only people that I really do see is Caitlin Clark. And so Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is really the only two that I see a lot of. Well, sorry about that. Sorry, Asia Wilson. I see a lot of Asia Wilson too. But maybe they have a case. You're talking about, well, you didn't share in this, that. Yeah, but when I came in the league, I made a sizable contribution. I made a jump. You see this Caitlin Clark effect. When I come in, y'all go from like 500,000 viewers to an average of about 1.57 million. You wouldn't be in this position to make that $2.2 billion deal if it wasn't for me. 6 times what y'all are used to. Y'all pay. If y'all don't pay nobody else, you better pay me.
AM Hoops, play
Shoot.
5, get $50 in lineups instantly. In fact, the NBA has kept the W afloat, costing about $10 million per year. But Clark's rookie year, the W lost more money than ever at $50 million. How is that possible? Because players wanted more, like
true,
private flights to games. So despite making more money than ever, they spent more money too. But at the same time, I can't understand where players are coming from. First off, private planes? Yeah, you can't have Caitlin Clark on American Airlines with me. Well, me, yes, but
but at the same time, but Caitlin Clark, maybe not. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say this, man. Some of you guys, if it were the NBA, y'all are only on this plane because of LeBron, because of Steph Curry, right? Some of y'all know y'all's place. Y'all are only on this private plane because of Jordan. That's it. Y'all, nobody else. If it was up to you, y'all be flying in coach too. And them players would get on coach and they would be just fine. They will be taking pictures the whole way there. They will be signing autographs. Oh man, I got to meet so-and-so from the San Antonio Spurs or so-and-so from the Utah Jazz. They will be taking pictures along the way. And then people like Jordan and the athletes that are actual stars will be up there. They wouldn't even be in coach because it would be too much. They would put them on a private plane. You only there because it kind of makes sense. We got the seats, right? But it has to be somebody on the team that's going to float that, right? All of y'all, if we're honest, some of you teams don't even need a private jet. Y'all don't even need a private jet because really nobody's going to know you, right? To be honest, they'll know Caitlin Clark. They'll know Angel Reese to a degree. They'll know Asia Wilson. But I think, really honestly and truly, Caitlin Clark is going to be the one that you really need to protect in terms of trying to get somewhere, and in terms of trying to not saying that all of the other people don't need protection, but it's just like the president of the United States versus a member of Congress, right? That's kind of what it's like. There's a clear difference in popularity. So some of you guys are only on the plane because of the star athlete, right? And some of you guys don't even need a plane yet. Y'all need to keep on flying coach. Now, if you want to, book a flight where all of y'all are on the same flight, then that's cool. But really, honestly, y'all don't even need to fly private. There might be one or two for a team of, let's say, 12 players plus coaching and staff. Y'all really should be able to fill up that plane by yourselves, to be honest, unless y'all flying on like a huge flight.
some of you guys I'm not too sure about. It would be like in the NBA, a random fan being like, hey Luca, can I get the aisle seat? Sorry, I have to pee a lot. It doesn't work. And the salary, last year the WNBA Supermax was $250K, average salary $120K, and the minimum just $66,000. But if they go on strike, those numbers go to zero. So they start negotiations last July. The league sent a proposal to the players, and we don't know what it said, but we do know the reaction.
I say they really gambling on this. I mean, some of these people have endorsement deals. Y'all really gonna have to cut back. If the strike goes, something gonna have to happen, because not everybody has endorsement deals. The people who do, like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and some of the more popular WNBA players, they gonna be all right. But y'all who are making the minimum $66,000, you're a normal, everyday, average American. And for some people, even like Caitlin Clark, without Caitlin Clark uh, uh, popularity, 78K is about enough for a year, right? So y'all gonna have to figure something out.
One player said, yeah, we got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face. Then MVP runner-up Nafisa Collier threw a grenade into negotiations. She claimed that the W commissioner said something unforgivable.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
What?
And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them.
What? I mean, it is one thing to negotiate with someone that you disagree with, but to negotiate with someone you hate is 100 times more difficult. But now, some people say...
I mean, it probably got heated in there. I forgot about, now that I'm looking at it, Ionescu, I forgot about her. She's been to some 3-point competitions too. So, I mean, you have a handful of people that are pretty good in the WNBA, but I think they got into if that's what the commissioner said, they got into a heated exchange is what happened. And you only tell them what she said, not you.
This cannot be fixed because what the players really want here is revenue share, which is exactly what NBA players have. See, those players split all basketball-related income with the owners 50-50, which means if the league does better financially, the players do better financially. And the W players see this awesome trajectory of their league and they want to ride that wave, but it's not all they want. They also want private flights for every team all year, professionalism standards across the league. For example, they don't want to practice at like a community rec center, which I thought was BS. Till I saw this Connecticut Sun thing where they got kicked off their own court for a 2-year-old's birthday party. Seriously, and it was during the playoffs. That actually happened. They also want expanded rosters and benefits, but the owners say no. Yes, we'll give you more money, but not rev share like the NBA. In fact, they offered increases from a max of $250K to $1.3 million, average salary from $120K to $530K, and minimum from $66K to $250,000 throughout the league.
See, with that, if the average salary is going to be $500,000, you don't need family benefits. You can just go get them. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying, but you could just go get them through the marketplace. Is it going to be, and you can get the most expensive plans, right? You can get the gold plan with that and you'll be okay. Like there ain't going to be nothing wrong. And then the team is going to be paying for all the other operations. They're going to be paying for all of that. Minimum salary is $250K. That's a massive jump. Y'all shouldn't need anything else. I mean, depending on where you live, right? It's going to be something that you need to work out. But, you know, even in somewhere like New York, that can help you out a little bit. I mean, LA, California is super expensive, but you know, that's a good start. That's a fantastic start.
Which sounds good, but players say no. In fact, we hate that so much, we're going on strike if you don't give us NBA-style rev share. Because we see that this league's going to keep growing while you're trying to stick us down here at this fixed money. And we don't care that you lost money on the WNBA all those years. That was your decision. You wanted to start a WNBA league, okay? That's on you. And now we're here, so we want to cut. And even Caitlin Clark said, this is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, so we are going to fight for everything we deserve. She also said, at the same time, we do need to play basketball.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I'm glad she said that, because Caitlin Clark is injured. She's injured. Some of these players, they don't be playing, they be injured, they be sitting out, and if you're sitting out and you're not actually playing, you're going to draw for a little while. But sooner or later, people are going to be like, man, there's no chance of her playing because she's injured. There's no chance for me to even see the excitement because she's injured. You got to understand, they're not going to be making, they lost money even when you came into the league. They lost it. Like y'all started spending more money and y'all lost more. The NBA had to fund y'all $10 million a year. Y'all said, hold my beer. We gonna lose 5 times that amount. You just wait and see what we was doing before. That wasn't nothing. 10 million? Hold my beer.
Because Caitlin knows a strike could kill the whole thing. Just look at baseball in 1994. MLB was America's #1 sport. They go on strike in 94, got passed up by the NFL and NBA, and have never come back. And that was the #1 sport. What do you think happens with the WNBA? All this momentum would be crushed and probably never come back. But this guy, David Sampson, perfectly outlines what happens next. See, he ran MLB teams for 20 years, so he knows all about negotiations. He was asked, what happens if the players don't budge and they don't move on their demands?
Maybe the end of the WNBA. The players will move. The biggest thing they did wrong, they said this is their moment. And so they've put a lot of pressure on themselves. They put themselves in a corner where they feel like they have to get it or it's like a major loss. And so if you had any ability to invest and you wanted to start a league to compete with the WNBA, this is the time. That could be the end of the WNBA.
Oh, and it turns out there are several women's leagues who see this coming. A 3-on-3 league called Unrivaled, a 5-on-5 called Project B, have all signed dozens of the top WNBA players already. And these leagues are promising them big paydays and rev share to the players. But that would obviously be a huge step back because those leagues don't have the momentum or the popularity of the WNBA. And it would split up all the players. Like, can you imagine if the NBA fell apart? Yeah, we'd all still watch the players. But if all the players were split among 2 leagues, it would suck. So as crazy as it sounded, we may actually see these players go on strike, and the W might take a hit it cannot come back from. But there is plenty of drama going on in the NBA right now as well.
You know, I think you have to be careful because these leagues are, you know, the name of the WNBA still has a little bit of cachet. So what they're essentially doing is pulling the cachet from the WNBA. If y'all start going, essentially what you're doing, and it's great that you're doing it, is you're kind of niching down in order to get more money, which is fantastic. Hey, this is what it's kind of like if Kobe Bryant were to, God rest his soul, were to play in the summer league or one of the NBA stars. They'd be like, oh shoot, like let's go look at this, let's go watch that. I mean, because it would be a draw. Like we get to see him kind of like maybe in a different light, even though he's playing basketball. That's why you see when Steph Curry goes over to China or Klay Thompson goes over to Asia or something like that. It's a big attraction there because, you know, we get to see you in a different, it's still professional, but it's kind of like you get to see you in a different light, basically. So that's what you see right there. So you guys still kind of need the marketing of the WNBA. It's the same thing as, you know, places like the Big Three, where you have older, retired NBA players that are still able to play and play pretty well, but not to the NBA standard. It has a draw because you get to continue to watch your favorite players. The rules seem to be a little bit more relaxed, seems to be a little bit more different. And like I said, you get to see them in a different light. And they're only able to do it because of the cachet of the NBA and their time in the NBA and the things that they did. Fans remember that. So I know you guys are feeling yourself right now. You're making a little bit of money, but, you know, just to let you know, y'all go to these leagues, the money that y'all are getting from these leagues, the money's coming from the WNBA.
You have this all wrong. Equality does not mean treating men and women exactly the same. And I mean in relationship dynamics specifically. Men and women are different. A tsunami and an earthquake are 2 forces of nature that is undeniable. They are equal in their ability to destruct, but they are different. They are equal, but they are different. Women don't want to be treated like men, the same as men don't want to be treated like women, because it's emasculating. Would you prefer that I start opening doors for you and buying you flowers and sweet little treats and stuff like that, telling you how pretty you are? Or would you rather I open the door when you come home from a long day of work in black lingerie? It is
Both. Both. Appreciate me. I mean, at this point, men are going to take anything. Just show me that you appreciate me. Dang.
It's okay that men and women want different things. When we say equality, we mean full autonomy over our own bodies. We mean equal pay for similar jobs. We mean not being discriminated against simply for our gender. We mean the ability to open a business in our own name.
Right, but then y'all go out and try to get the best jobs without qualifying for them. Y'all don't want to work outside the office. Y'all don't want to do any hard jobs. Y'all leave the hard, laborious stuff to men. And y'all want, oh, I want to go into management. I want to do this. I want to tell people what to do. But I don't want to actually put in the work to tell people what to do. Then you get mad when people who actually know what to do pass you up, even though you have a degree in management, because you don't actually know what to do.
If we so choose to. Equality does not mean being treated the same.
Chivalry and patriarchy are two completely different things. I heard somebody on here talking about how chivalry started in like the, 1200s, 1300s, and it is how knights were looked at and expected to act. Like a knight, somebody who was going out and who is fighting off the bad guys, and how they were expected to uphold a higher value to themselves so that others looked up to them. Because they treated others with respect, because they treated others in a way that they should be looked up to. And men are getting this backwards. They're saying, well, you want chivalry, you're going to have to just get rid of that so you can be equal with us. And the amount of men who come out here and they're like, well, we're going to treat you just like we treat any other man, which is horrible, apparently, because God forbid you be nice and kind to another man.
No, we are actually nice and kind to other men. Other men respect other men. That's the way that goes. Y'all want to be coddled. Y'all want people to stop. Hey, beautiful, how you doing? You doing okay? Oh, it's so great to see you. Oh, you're so pretty. Your hair is just luscious and it's gorgeous and it's fantastic. Oh, and then your skin is just, y'all want that type of treatment. And a man just says, hey, how you doing? Oh, man, I like that haircut, bro. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, man, I like them shoes. And you keep on moving about your day. Y'all want people to stop and pay specific attention to y'all.
Man. And that's the thing. Men are admitting that they treat other men horribly. They treat other men in a way that is less than. They think that they treat women better than they treat men. And so their idea of equality is oh, well, I'm not going to treat you better anymore. I'm going to treat you just the way like I treat my buddy down there. That shouldn't be the case. I mean, if you truly like a woman and you want to be in a partnership with a woman, you are going to have to like them. You're going to have to treat them with kindness and generosity and integrity and being humble and having characteristics within yourself that hold value so that you can hold value to your partner. But men don't want to do that. They want to use equality against women. And this kind of comment says the same thing that a lot of comments do, which is, I'm going to treat you like I treat every other man.
No. So what you guys want to be able to do, what a lot of modern women want to be able to do, is talk crazy to a man. And that's the equality that you don't like. It's just, well, wait a minute. Y'all get on this internet and y'all have gotten in commercials. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do better. Now you're not saying, you're no longer saying we're equal. You're saying I'm better than you. I can do it better than you. And it would be funny if it was just a commercial. Oh, it's a little friendly competition. Well, game on then. Let's go. Let's see who's going to win. Well, we know who's going to win. I'm thinking about that, the battle of the sexes in tennis, where I think the number one women's tennis player just got beat pretty soundly by the number, I think he's 600 and close to 650, 640, something like that. He's not close to number one. We'll say that. So no, not only are you not good, you're not better at all. Like you're not even close to good at all to what a man is, to what a man is doing. Y'all continue to talk this smack to put yourself, well, we're more educated than you. We have a house, we have this, we have that. how do you think that you're going to be treated when you're always bragging? I mean, any dude, you guys are focused on you being women. Think about how a dude would get treated if he came out there. I mean, I've seen, we don't even have to think actually. Well, you can see videos. I just got through watching one from Sim Saver Sam. I got through watching one from Araco TV. And there's plenty of other people, Levi, Nix. They'll cover these and react to them where the title is Fake Tough Guy Gets Brutally Humbled. So you got a guy that walks in, and I'm thinking about that guy who was at a Fresh and Fit panel. And I think Andrew Wilson was there, and he was trying to bully Andrew Wilson, and Andrew Wilson wasn't going for it. And people in the comments were like, yeah, go Andrew Wilson. Right. So you're trying to bully somebody, and then you get and then it backfires, and now you look like an idiot. It used Andrew Wilson again as an example where he was doing all that talking, and true enough, as the debate went on, and even before that little gotcha moment between him and Charlie, she was getting spanked pretty soundly before and after that little moment. But then she did have a really good moment to where she made him seem like a hypocrite. And that was a body bag. She caught a body that day. Right there in that moment. All she had to do was quit talking. He was like, you know what? I'm going to leave now. That's all she had to do. But she kept talking. She thought she had the upper hand. And if you watch the debate, if you continue to watch the debate, then you can see, oh yeah, Andrew was doing this thing. That's what happens with anyone. You get to talking trash and then you get beat. People are going to make fun of you. And this is what's happening to modern women.
But why do you turn to that? Why do you look at equality as you should be a copycat of a man instead of recognizing that human beings should not have a gender? You should be treating all human beings with kindness, especially your own, right? Like if you are a man and you don't treat other men with kindness, why? Why don't you do that? Why don't you treat other men in a way that you would treat women? Is it because you expect to get something out of a woman?
I mean, you're way off base, but okay.
And not out of a man? And that's probably the basis of your own bias. And us women are just pointing it out.
Feminism is not the issue, but what it's turned into is. The original fight was for equality, votes, jobs, and just mutual respect. But somewhere along the way, equality morphed into superiority. Now, women are told, you don't need a man. Depending on him, it makes you weak. Be soft and nurturing, that's betrayal. Femininity was never weakness. But when women started trying to outman men, the polarity disappeared. No push, no pull, no leadership, no trust, just two people fighting for control.
That's what I was just saying. Like, it'd be one thing if you guys were actually trying to be equal, but you're trying to make it seem like you're superior. A lot of modern women try to make it seem like they're more superior than the man is.
Why the attraction is dead. Men aren't disgusted by women. They're disgusted by the distortion, the constant anger, the victimhood, the competition. Masculine energy in women is repulsive to high value masculine men. It just doesn't work. Real men don't want to battle their woman. They want to build with her. They want the woman who can lead her own ambitions and
Absolutely.
still soften in his arms at night, because strength and softness can still coexist.
Yep.
It should be able to. Masculine energy brings structure, protection, and direction. Feminine energy brings warmth, intuition, and life. You remove one, you get chaos. You fake one, and you get resentment. Feminism wasn't freedom. It was a tax scam. Shove women into offices, twice the work, twice the cash for Uncle Sam, pump up her paycheck, sell her cars, daycare, happy pills, then throw the kids in a brainwash center, aka schools, while mom and dad grind 60-hour weeks, too wiped to see the family's actually been robbed. The goal was never to dominate each other. It was to balance each other out, to make each other better. When masculine and feminine move in harmony, your love thrives and legacies last lifetimes.
You know what some of these modern women remind me of? I'm gonna call it a name. I'm gonna call out a name. You probably have one of these people on your team. Uh, but for me, it's the Dallas Cowboys. And you got people who are able to, have one good year, and then they're able to finesse the general manager and get millions of dollars, and they go right back to being a bum the next year. And you're like, okay, well, maybe that was a down year. Knowing that they were a bum before that year as well, they go right back to being a bum. And they, okay, well, he had an injury, but maybe he'll get back. Bum. Okay, well, it takes a while for the body to heal, but he's going to get back to final form. Bum. Trayvon Diggs. You can disagree with me. Trayvon Diggs and even Micah Parsons. The Packers were Godspeed. God bless you. Y'all got both of them. Micah is going to get out there, and I hope he recovers, to be honest. Speedy recovery, full recovery. But Micah he's not good in the run. He might be good in the pass rush. He might get a sack here and there. But when you need him, he's going to be blocked. He's not going to be doing what you need him to do. Yeah, he's doing good enough to get paid a lot of money, but when you need him to step up in crucial moments, he's not going to be there. And even worse, Trayvon Diggs. He's terrible. He's trash. Made, what would he have? Like 11 picks that one year. And then we made another mistake by signing Deron Bland when he had one good year, only for them to come back the next year and get burnt, to resume trash play. And this is what a lot of modern women are. They have one good year where they go and do something really great, and then they get out on the free agent market. They're like, oh man, I deserve way more than this. I deserve millions, figuratively speaking, for my time. And not really figuratively speaking. Some of these women are speaking literally. I deserve a lot of money for my time, a lot of compensation. I deserve this type of treatment for my time. And they're trash. They're trash. You give them that contract and they go right back to being a bum. Yeah, I cook for my man, every so often. Bum. This man's paying the bills every month. You don't even want to cook for him every month. You don't even want to cook for yourself every month. Bum. These modern women are bums. Period.
Don't care about equality. They only like the idea of equality when it's benefiting them. Because if they actually care about equality, we would have a well-established maternity leave system, not just for women, but for men as well. If they actually care about equality, women wouldn't spend 2.5 times more hours doing unpaid labor and domestic work than men. If they actually care about equality, male contraception and vast autonomy would be equally normalized and emphasized, instead of letting...
We've already covered this. Men overall are going to be working more than women. Well, you don't work more over here than in this section. Men overall work more than women. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Y'all are not doing as much work as you think you do. Well, this work is hard. Men work more than you do. Well, it's not as hard. Men work as much. Statistically speaking, they work more than you. Their jobs are riskier. They're more dangerous. So that's why they get more raises. Because they work longer hours. They work more difficult jobs than you do. You guys keep on talking about what's going on in the house. Just throw a Tide pod in the washing machine and a Cascade pod in the dishwasher and be done with it. Go back to watching your soaps.
Women carry most of the medical and physical risks. If they actually care about equality, there wouldn't always be long queues outside of women's toilets. Because of biological and practical differences, women's restroom needs way more floor space to achieve the same efficiency as men's.
It does. It does. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was at a church one time and I caught a glimpse of the women's bathroom, because they had two doors. They had the first door you go in, and then it had like a little blank space, and then it had another door that you go in, just to kind of make sure you can't really see in there, right? Because you got women in there. It makes sense. But I caught a glimpse. I think it might have been after church and somebody was cleaning in there or something like that, and they had more stalls, obviously, than the men did, but they had a couch in that thing. They had a couch. It was a full-size couch, doc. I'm like, what? Why we can't get a couch in our restroom? You don't need it. Men gonna be going in, going out, 30 seconds. Women might be in there doing multiple things. They might be in there talking, might be in there conversing. Oh, hey, how's it going? And just visiting in the bathroom. Man, y'all already got the floor space. It's just what you decide to do with it, man. Come on, stop all that nonsense.
If they actually care about equality, we would have a strict legal system to punish domestic abusers and serial harassers. There wouldn't be 736 million women, which is almost 1 in 3, who have suffered physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. If they actually care about equality, they would hold other men for accountability. Well,
they do. Most of those guys go to jail. A lot of that stuff that you see, it's repeat offenders. I know you like to quote that, but according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, vast majority, and when I say a vast majority of men don't do that type of stuff, what I mean is 90 to 95% of men, probably even higher. I can't remember the numbers specifically, but vast majority of men not doing that stuff.
Would call out their guy friends sexist jokes instead of laughing with them. Superficial equality doesn't mean real fairness. In a system that's already tilted in men's favor, seeing 50-50 still benefits them.
Equal treatment means...
Why can't men just like lead? Like just lead. Who cares if she's responsible, is successful, has her own money, can do anything herself? Just like, can't you maybe want to lead?
It's because the men that you choose, you don't trust them to lead. Not only do you not trust them to lead, but you can't give up your sense of perfectionism. You can't give up your sense of control. You can't give up your ability to micromanage everything that he's doing, even when he does lead. You nitpick everything that he does, because if he doesn't do it the exact way that you would do it, then it's a problem. So even when he does lead, he's getting criticized along the way. And he's criticized so heavily, by the way, that he ends up not doing it anymore, or he stops helping you, or he stops leading altogether. Most women are so...
And then they'll call it weaponized incompetence, forgetting what they were actually saying. They'll forget what they actually did the last time around and how hard they were in terms of their criticism. But mind you, we saw a lady talking about, you need to be gentle with us. You need to be kind to us as women. But they'll walk their silly behinds back over here to a man in his face. Oh, you're not doing it right. Get it over here. What you talking about? I'm thinking about a video right now, a clip where the tag or caption on the video was, I thought we were going to film a cute little DIY project where they were like doing some work on the wall where they put like little panels, nice little panels, right? On the wall right there in the front way, in the entryway. She's sitting there arguing with the man, telling him he don't know how to use a hammer gun, telling him he don't know how to use that ain't straight. How can you tell it's straight by looking at the leveler? What are you talking about? That ain't even straight. Do you know how to read a leveler? Do you see this little bubble, how it's supposed to be in the middle? That's elementary, bro. Anybody can know that. But you sitting there hollering and screaming and acting silly. Just pick up the gun and put the nail where I tell you to. Dang, you wasting my time. I could be watching the game. But they think they know everything.
Hell-bent on this idea that they can do it themselves, that even if a man goes to the grocery store or puts up a TV, she's still going to go behind him and check everything that he's doing, or she's going to call her dad or phone another guy to help her because she doesn't even trust that man to lead. And you see it so much with single moms, because these single moms marry people, get divorced, have children with these men, and then they don't trust them to raise their children together or co-parent, and she micromanages him every single step of the way. But not only that, is y'all say successful, but what you do is you bring that boss-ass bitch mentality home, and no man wants a fucking masculine woman who's going to tell him what to do 24/7. It's like y'all get in this role that you're the boss queen because that's what you do all day at work, and then you want to put him in this role when you get home. So you give him absolutely no room to lead in the first place. When you do this, you emasculate him, you're disrespectful, you don't know how to communicate, because if you knew how to communicate, then you'd communicate that being a leader is more than just providing, or whatever your standards are for leading in the first place. Women have told men for the past decade that they can do it themselves. So why all of a sudden would a man turn around and lead? He's going to look at you and say, you got this. You're a boss ass queen. You wanted equality. You can handle it. You don't need me. Well, don't get to pick and choose equality or when you want to benefit from a man's leadership. You either have his leadership or you don't. A lot of women really need to look in the mirror and determine why is it that you are with people that you don't trust to lead in the first place. Okay, bye.
And I would say on the communication point, that's a really big one. Your tone. You might be talking, an elevated level of communication is like you're saying it, but then you're listening to how it's being said. You're listening to yourself talk. You're paying attention to yourself and how you say things. One of the things that I was doing the other day, and I'm learning, I'm trying to get better at it. I was talking to my wife and I was upset about something else, but my aggression was like, it was going towards her. And when I say it was going towards her, I was talking aggressively about the situation, but I was talking to her aggressively about the situation. So anybody in that situation will be like, is he mad at me or is he mad at the situation? So you got to hear yourself and you got to say, oh, well, let's slow down a little bit. And you gotta say, well, sorry about that. You know, I'm upset about the situation. I'm not mad at you. What I was saying, and bring yourself down. So you say, well, what I was saying was X, Y, and Z. And man, you know, it was doing this, and that. And you can be passionate about it, but you gotta bring it down. You gotta bring that communication down, right? I think it was that I ended up having to come back. Well, I didn't have to, but you know, it's good practice to come back and apologize because it was in the morning. She had asked me a question about something and I was stressed out about it. You know, she was like, well, I should have let you know. And that was my fault. I should have come to you and told you. I just got busy with other stuff and you know, I didn't do it. Right. So, you got to take that and you got to listen to that. And then I had to come back and I had to say, hey, I'm sorry for, you know, doing that the first thing in the morning, you know, going crazy. I didn't even greet you properly. Right? I didn't even say good morning. You know, it was just the first conversation in the morning that we had. You should have been like, hey, how are you? Good morning. You know, you give her your good morning kiss and then you start discussing things. Your communication and your attitude has to be better, both men and women, to where, like I said, you hear yourself and you might be given direction as a wife. Hey, babe, could we scoot it over a little bit over this way? So I was thinking this, and this, where you ain't doing it right. Why are you doing it? That. I told you I wanted to go there. Well, you're not his mom, right? You don't run him. I mean, if his friends don't talk to him like that, if his mom and his daddy don't talk to him like that, then why do you think that you're going to be able to? You know what I mean? Like nobody in his life talks to him like that. Why do you think that you'd be able to do that? Relax. Take it easy. You'll be all right. So that communication portion of things is something that, quite honestly, a lot of us could get better at.